Hello and welcome to a new card project here. Just one more card today. Today I want to show you how I will use this little inker stamp set called Modern Mehndi to create a very vibrant card. I'm only going to be using the stamp set, but there is a coordinating die set that you can buy separately. I'm not going to use the dies today, I'm just going to use the stamps. And yeah, let's get started. To prepare, I have used a piece of watercolor cardstock by Tim Holtz. You can use any type of watercolor cardstock. I've tried this technique on several different watercolor papers and they have all worked. I don't know why it's watercolor paper, but that one works. I'm starting out by stamping the sentiment in, excuse me, in archival black ink. And I'm doing my entire stamping in archival black ink. And the reason for that is that the coloring that I'm doing, I don't want the ink to smear. And the archival ink works wonderfully with watercolors, not so great with markers. But with the pens I'm using today, it works perfectly. I'm inking up the stamps, making sure that they are inked up really well. There's a lot of detail in those stamps. And then I'm just going to stamp each one of the flowers twice onto the card. On this panel that I'm creating. And I'm making sure I'm pressing down well without exerting too much pressure. If you use too much pressure, you know, like the lines of the stamp might become wider than they would normally be. But I just want to make sure I get a good impression because the watercolor cardstock is very slightly textured, even the less textured side. And after I've stamped all the flowers, I fuzzy cut some masks. And I put them on the flowers so I can stamp the leaves. And if you do it like this, then it will look like the leaves are emerging from behind the flowers. You can see now when I peel this off, the leaf looks like it's tucked behind the flower. And you can just reuse these masks the next time. These are the pens I will be using for the flowers. They are called Stabilo Pens. They can be bought separately or in packs. I've actually bought the entire pack of 50 because I wanted to have all the colors after I've discovered this technique. And the trick, if you can call it, is to put down one color first and then immediately going in with the next color. And you can see every time I lift up my pen, I'm leaving like a tiny puddle of ink on the paper, and then when I go in with my orange, I can use that to blend it out so I won't have a stark contrast. When I started out coloring this card, I didn't do it in a very smart way. I thought, you know, like let's color the entire petal of the flower first, but you can see here that it's kind of difficult for me to blend the orange into the yellow. And the reason for that is that I should have just colored 1/2 of a petal in one go. And I think that is the thing, if you try this technique, that you should keep in mind. You cannot leave like the colors unattended for too long because then you will have trouble blending. You need to go in with the colors that you want to blend immediately one after the other. And I think you can see how I'm doing it better here. I'm putting down the red and I'm also pulling up the red further up to the side, and that is so I won't have like more of a horizontal line when I'm blending because that doesn't look very natural. If you don't have, if you know, have like a jagged edge, like here, I'm pulling up the red, and then when you go in with the orange, it looks much more natural when you blend it than if you would have a line like I'm leaving here with the orange actually, you know, not have everything end at the same point. And you can see that the blending here is much better than on the other petals because I'm immediately going in with my next color as soon as I lift up. And I'm sometimes even scrabbling off a little bit to the side, and you can see how much brighter the orange gets when I get the red off the marker. It doesn't hurt the pens at all, what I'm doing, like not at all. But of course, if you pick up the darker color with the lighter pen, then it will take a while until it's blended out, and I don't have that much space. That's why I'm scribbling off a little bit on the side sometimes, just so I get the brighter color faster. And I still think that is a pretty neat blending effect that you get. I'm doing the same with the leaves, going in with my darkest color first, just scribbling down the center, and then taking the medium color to blend it out, and I'm going over the edge. No, I'm not going over everything. It's not like Copic markers. You don't need to go over everything. That won't help, and it will actually just pill the paper. I'm just going over the edge where I stopped with the darker color. You will see that here as well. You can see that I'm simply going over the edge of the darker color before I'm smoothing out to the brightest color here. And of course, there are different ways you can shade the leaves. Here's another way. You don't go down the center, but you start with the darkest shade where the flower would cover the leaf, and then just blend out to the brighter shade. You don't get the same kind of shading that you would get from a Copic marker, but I just like this technique, and these pens are really, really cheap. They cost less than €1 per pen. And so it's a really, really fun technique. Then I'm using my ATG gun to put some adhesive on the back of this panel that I've created. And by the way, if you think this was like a lot of work, I found this very, very relaxing. And I even added some glitter or sparkle here to some details of the flowers. And it was just a very relaxing way to end the day, just do some coloring and just, let my mind wander. That is the card for today. I hope you've enjoyed this, and as you can see, the colors are really, really vibrant. Here are 3 more projects that I colored in different ways. Check them out, and if you like them, subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment, and see you again soon. Bye!